Hello there, Maddie from Hello Interloper here with an update to the Siege event video that I uploaded yesterday. It seems that DeNA has finally tweaked this event a little bit, making things a lot easier. Now, I'm going to be going over some of the quick updates here. First of all, parameter information updated on prizes. Edge values were not reflected on parameters listed on the highlights page. This error has been now fixed. See the true power of this event's heroes. So that means that the stuff that I showed yesterday, those weren't the actual stats because they were not actually multiplied to the edge amount. So thankfully that means that these fighters are not going to be really, really crappy. Because previously it said edge 200% and showed the stats, and when you take away the 200% edge, it's half that amount, and those were really low. So thankfully, that means that these fighters that are being given out are actually stronger than they previously appeared. So that's good. And then we've got tweaks to event parameters. As an ongoing improvement to the new event, we've tweaked some parameters. And I will show you a little bit of what has been changed in sharp contrast to what happened yesterday. If you haven't seen my video from yesterday, I pretty much recommend it because it was really ridiculous. I mean, I was pitted against legendaries when choosing the weakest siege castle, which was really crazy, especially because we were ranked clay, which is the lowest host rank or host quality. So I'll be showing you guys that. Then Baraz has more edge. In the Crucible of the Siege, Baraz the Lionheart has been tested and not found wanting. His edge is now rock cleaving 400%, which means that he's going to be a lot more useful in battle. And make sure that if you don't exactly have a great team, make sure you stay clear of him. If you choose a siege castle and you see Baraz, probably want to choose a different castle. And probably the most important thing of all that everybody was waiting for, they have finally shown us the possible choices for the DeNA, Isis, Polyhymnia, and Aranus, Nemesis, Melpomene new looks. And I'm going to quickly show you this because it's just so cool. Let me quickly switch over. Okay, these are honestly beautiful. And I say that because they are a far cry from the current versions. Now, as you can see, it's still kind of similar to the whole spirit healer from World of Warcraft, except they added a few things that are really, I would say, unique. In the sense that pretty much she is solid color on the top and then fades into kind of a ghostliness, which is, of course, different than a spirit healer in World of Warcraft. It's all see-through. Then there seems to be little orbs, a lot more stylized fabric pieces there. And then we've got this nice eerie glow in the back, or crazy looking zappy or cloud-like designs there. She seems to be holding some kind of crazy looking staff in this version. But basically you can go right now on the Defender of Texel Facebook page and vote whether you want A or A1 or B or B1. And hopefully the best one will win. I mean, personally I like both A and B, but these have a little bit more, I would say, color variety. I mean, we got the blue and a bit of purple tone on these. And then, of course, for Melpomene, you can see it's a lot different than Lord Marrowguard. No longer has, like, the rib cage. It's more like a creepy skull-like design with a skull floating there. Then it gets more creepy as it evolves up. And it doesn't have that Lord Marrowguard axe anymore. And here it has a staff with a skull on top. So it's also got, like, little skulls floating around, which is pretty cool. And wings. So, basically, really, really nice. Honestly, with all of the outrage, it's good to see that the Defender of Texel team has really come through and given us some amazing choices. I'm really, really happy with these. Unfortunately, I did sell all of my Isis pretty much right off the bat because I'm like, it doesn't look that amazing. It looks too much like the World of Warcraft Spirit Healer. Might as well sell it. So, unfortunately, I won't be having one. But it's nice to see that they actually are trying to make amends. Now, let's talk about the actual siege event, because that's kind of important. and some changes have been made. Let me just quickly open up here the siege event screen. So, alright. So, everything pretty much is the same here, and I'm still in a clay host, which is kind of disappointing. But, hopefully they'll tweak that a little more. Now, the main difference is the fact that there's a huge difference in difficulty here. So, if you've seen my past video, you'll know how crazy the opponents were. If I choose the hardest one now, everything is more based off of, I guess, the quality of the host. Because I have rares, and I don't get an epic opponent until, all the way until the third battle here. And then if I go to the easiest one, go over here, and it actually is easier in the beginning, but harder in the end. I'm not really sure if that much has been changed there, but there's no more legendaries and full epics on every single tier, which is, it really was absolutely impossible unless you use 3 BP. So thankfully now you can go through 3 sentries, 3 sets of sentries in a row, and on 1 BP if you're really lucky. Now, another thing that's been changed, and that is the difficulty of the castle itself. Before, the castle would be up for a few seconds, because as soon as, all the sentries were down, everybody would rush for the castle, it would go down extremely easily, and it was pretty darn annoying. There really wasn't much of a chance to get the castle down. Now the castle has tons more hit points, which means a lot more people can participate in the actual downing of the castle. Now, there's one more good part about this. If you down a castle, or at least help down a castle, at least from what I've seen, you get 2 Nux bits back, in addition to a lot of other things. And that's only if you take down the castle, of course. You claim your prize at the end. And if you actually go to the main screen and go to the battle page here, if you did complete one and you didn't actually see it complete, like you attacked it and then got off the game or something, it will show the castle here where you can redeem the prizes. And pretty much for every castle I've helped down, I've gotten 2 Nux bits back, which means that if you're using regen, you can either increase the amount of Nux bits you have by, let's say, 1 or 2, depending on whether you used regen or 1 Nux or whatever. But basically, that way you don't waste tons of Nux bits on this event. You can actually kind of, let's say you use 3 Nux bits, you'll get 2 back, so it's really like losing 1 Nux bits. It's really much better. And also, one more thing I need to kind of explain here. Yesterday, I kind of made a little bit of a false statement unknowingly about the difference between points and the score. Now, this score here, that is the amount of dots. Meanwhile, the points are something completely different. The points are what actually puts you in the ranking. The points are more, think of it this way, the points are kind of an individual ranking, while the dots are the ranking that's kind of given to the team. So the people with the most dots get MVP, second, and third place, and the team with the most dots gets the winning prize. But the points is pretty much just for the point rewards and the ranking. So hopefully that makes it somewhat clearer. It's still rather confusing because there are 2 different forms of points, dots, whatever. It's still not 100% clear. Honestly, they could have done a little bit of a better job on that. But, this is the first time they're doing the Siege event. And honestly, I don't really think it's as bad as it was earlier, because honestly it was so frustrating not even being able to take 1 sentry down because I had to preempt all guys absolutely decimating my team, and then eventually getting to a legendary, and it was a mess. Now, thankfully, most of the time I can make it through 3 sentries on only 1 BP rather than 3 sentries with 3 BP. So that means, of course, more points and dots and whatever, and quicker fighting the castle, getting the sentries down. So that's pretty much all you guys really need to know about the updates that have been brought to this event. And also, of course, really happy about the brand new looks for the Camp Fear guys. Melpomene and Polyhymnia are going to look awesome. None of that crazy bird face and copy and pasted, Fravarden axe wings, which just looked so lame. So, anyway, good luck, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying this event, and until next time.